Greetings, everyone. This is Kev. This is BMBBH, and we are here on Saturday night. And what a week! I wow. I would have to say that my disappointment in Black folks on YouTube in the Black sector that deals with the subject matter that we deal with uh, is at an all-time high. And I understand that we don't need any more negativity, but it's I can't help it this time. It's I'm very disappointed. It's and it's at a like I said, it's at a very ridiculous level. I mean, I've been having headaches about it, and it's just I can't believe that in a space where black people communicate with each other that we would be this malicious. So I'm gonna show you guys a few things, but let me start out by pulling out this disclaimer right here. As you can see in the thumbnail that I took my time to create and put together, is that we over here do not condone any terroristic violence of any kind, whether people die or not. So this is me condemning the actions of one Frank R. James. I understand that he was a black man that did tons of YouTube videos expressing his disdain for society and the city of New York. Um, I started off one morning this week, and Willie D put out a video saying that this man, this NYC subway shooter, was on YouTube. And no lie, no lie, I knew the first thing that was going to happen once people heard this. I said they're going to connect this guy to the black manosphere, and the rest is history. So let me just share this screen, and we're gonna start out with show you a news story real quick. So just to, cause we have to use some form of integrity here. Now, fair use. This is CBS News New York, and this video is entitled "Hundreds of YouTube videos paint suspect Frank James as angry at many." Okay, so here we go. I might just stop this video periodically, throughout its playing because it's a lot to unpack here. And look, the title of tonight's broadcast is "The Rise of the Black Male Karen," and yeah, is I'm not going to be the one that always just tries to shit on my people. It's as much as some of you motherfuckers out there have done it already. So let's watch this report. Let's start to paint the picture here. So
Has often posted profane, disturbing content on YouTube and social media.
Recent rants included criticism of Mayor Adams and efforts to reduce homelessness and crime. CBS 2's Tony Aiello continues our coverage.
And they keep mentioning the potential of World War III. Well, no, we're already in World War III.
Brooklyn subway attack suspect Frank James had a lot to say about the state of the world, and he shared it almost daily on YouTube. Hundreds of rants filled with foul-mouthed disdain for black people, white people, Hispanics and Asians, celebrities, and politicians, including Mayor Eric Adams and his policies on subway crime.
We do something about the homeless, he can do that, which is good. But those who are going to commit crimes, like the shooting, got shot in the chest out in Brooklyn, the old lady got hit in the head with a hammer, you can't stop that. That means you have to have a policeman at every station, and that's just not possible.
It was a chilling foreshadowing of the subway attack 3 weeks later. We know that James was born in 1959 and raised in the Bronx. His last known address here dates to 2003, this building on Ritter Place. Not far away, one of his distant cousins told me most family members had little contact with James.
Something must have happened, maybe. I don't know.
You're having a tough time believing this.
Yes, yes, it's unbelievable.
James's sister also lives in the Bronx. She declined to speak with CBS 2, but told the New York Times James was a loner who moved often. Until a few weeks ago, he lived in this Milwaukee, Wisconsin multifamily building. Neighbors describe him as sullen and unfriendly.
When I say hi, it's like a grunt. I don't see him. I hear him sometimes yelling on the phone, arguing about things.
On his YouTube channel, James talked about attending a job training program in Long Island City and experiencing mental health issues. He described New York as the source of all my troubles. The videos leave the impression of a profoundly disturbed person. Tonight, YouTube has disabled James's channel. In Longwood, the Bronx, Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
Okay. Yeah. This is the way the mainstream media reported it. He was a deeply disturbed individual with mental health issues. And let me tell y'all something. We here in our community, in our sector of YouTube, we treat mental health issues as a joke. We don't care. We'll drive a man to kill himself. We show no sympathy. We show no class. None of that shit. Now, when I type in Frank R. James, manosphere, it does bring up a lot of mainstream media news sources, and none of that shit says manosphere at all. So, none of it. Because I asked people this week, is like, you're connecting them to the manosphere, and I'm like, what? Well, how? And it always is. I heard shit. I heard he was a mod. I heard he he had appeared on a couple panels. It's I heard. Okay, I said, where's your proof? Give me a link so I can confirm this for myself. Even a couple YouTubers even was like, well, I can confirm it and presented no evidence of a link of any kind. Um, listen up, people. You cannot control what all of your subs do for the content creators that are listening right now. Let me use myself as an example. Right now, I'm sitting at exactly 28.99, putting me 101 away from 3,000. Now, for those of you who's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and help me get to 3,000. But I understand this. I cannot control the characteristics of everyone that I am sub to. I don't care about how the man looks. You guys talking about how the man looks, especially men. And I'm sitting up here like, what y'all want to do? Y'all want to fuck him? Like every time you get somebody on YouTube, what he has to look a certain way, what he has to have a six pack, a symmetrical face, what what he got to have like the muscular definition that is next to the gods. This is what I don't get about you guys. It's like you worry about the wrong shit. Here's what I'm worried about. This is a mentally unwell guy that that shot up a subway apparently because all this stuff is alleged. I mean, but you know the FBI is sure that they have their man, and no one died. I know that's a moot point. No one died because when you strike terror into the hearts of the general public, then that's pretty much all they care about because how many people that were on that scene that is traumatized by that shooting? There were people in that shooting that thought that they were going to die. So the important thing is the nutcase is in custody. But it really bothered me that once you found out who this guy was sub to, you tried to make it some kind of like, oh, well, he was sub to Kevin Samuels. So Kevin Samuels somehow is influencing people to go out and shoot other people, which is fucking ridiculous. And it is very, very disappointing that hatred for a content creator is so deep, is so deep to the point where you try to get this man fucked up like that. Even people were like, oh, I noticed Kevin Samuels ain't gone live in the past few days. Dude is in California chilling with Melly Monaco. Whoever I mean, like, god damn, are we gonna be this brazen toward each other as to try to get someone in any one individual fucked up? Now, I'm the one that hates to bring other races into it. I really do. I really hate to bring other races into it. And I used to really hate when Caucasian people, every time a young Caucasian man would shoot up somewhere, and I mean, like, for some reason people died in those particular incidences. But even with that, they would play the mental illness card, and I used to hate that shit because I felt like it was an excuse. And I'm not saying that we should play the mental illness card, even though Frank James was a very mentally unwell person. He was very mentally unwell. This guy was 62 years old, and from the way this guy looked and how he carried himself on YouTube, he was a very mentally unwell person. He's very mentally unwell. But I know one thing about black people. We wouldn't have played that mentally ill card to save our lives. The guy's mentally ill. The guy's mentally ill. You have to be mentally ill to do what he did. If he did it. Now, like I said, the FBI, they seem to believe they have their man. And I'm not going to make any excuses for Frank James. I'm not. But from what I've seen, the only people as of right now that made the connection of Frank James to the Black Manosphere were content creators on YouTube. When I saw that Willie D video, it was not even 2 hours later, and someone already had a broadcast going. Manosphere shooter Frank James, blah blah blah, and here came a whole slew of videos. And I was thinking, hey, you know what? These are a bunch of perfect people who's never been in trouble, who loves everybody, trying to dissect this man and trying to find a way to connect him to the content creators that were over here. So they looked at his subscription list. They found out that he was sub to Kevin Samuels. He was sub to Fresh and Fit. He was sub to Tasha K. He was sub to Jason Black. That and my thoughts is this ain't got a damn thing to do with what this man did. It ain't got a damn thing to do with it. You know, they always bring up the whole he hates black women, he hates B dubs. I was like, wow. And not that this is the most important thing, but It wasn't like that he was isolating his shooting victims to a certain group of women. He didn't do that. So, like I'm going back to, the only ones that were trying to make this connection to the manosphere were content creators. And y'all can get mad all you want. You can get mad all you want when I start saying, when I dive a little deeper into this. But anyway, I've seen a lot of people, a lot, lot of guys, and it almost, like, it was to the point. It got so bad to the point where I almost gave up on black people. It's like, I ain't gonna lie. And people be like, "Man, you gonna let this one little thing just like make you give up on it?" Yeah, yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. It's like we just want to destroy each other, and we just want to reach for anything we can to destroy each other, and it's a goddamn shame. Oh, I know how much y'all hate that word in this space, shame. Dudes were talking like they were the goddamn feds themselves. It got to the point where even I got a little worried about it. Because it was like a lot of some, like, I ain't gonna lie to you, a couple content creators were making a lot of sense, but most weren't. Most were just being petty, most were being spiteful, most were being bitter. And I was thinking, like, of course there are going to be female content creators that are going to try to make this connection. But a lot of the dudes, well, man, the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Dudes in this space, around this space, on the fringe of this space, needs to grow some nuts. Hashtag grow some nuts. Sorry, guys. But it's instead of defending against shit like this, guess what we do? We do just like Karens. We drop to the ground, we start screaming and hollering and crying in panic, and we start pointing the finger without being touched, without even being first offended. Because that's what Karens do. Have you ever been Karened? I was Karen one time. I was picking up someone from a apartment complex, go out and have a couple beers and such. And I didn't have the gate code to the apartment. I was trying to call this person. So I was trying to go in, and the vehicle in front of me stopped. And it was this chubby white woman. She started screaming at me. Oh, I'm not going to let you in, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, like, she might have been somewhat in the right. But, I'm like, bitch, get the fuck out of my fucking way. The person had to come to the gate. The person I was picking up had to come to the gate because this bitch kept yelling. And lo and behold, it was a Karen. I had gotten Karen. So I've had my experience with that. But, full grown ass black men, every time a black man does something weird or crazy, instead of defending, saying, hey, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. The space ain't got nothing to do with that shit. Guess what you guys do? Oh my God. Oh, he was a part of the black manosphere. I didn't even know who this motherfucker was before Wednesday. Most didn't. And I believe 99% of content creators in present day don't know who this guy is. Just like let me bring up EDP 445. We didn't even know who that guy was. Yet and still, we got to be the petty destroyers of people who look like us and say is a part of the black manosphere, a space that people, including our own, have come to hate so much that we have to tear it down and destroy it, and the content creators that are within it. Now, I'm gonna have a couple friends. Why are you seem like you're defending or taking up for the space? Shut up. It's not that I'm taking up for the space, and it's not that I'm defending the space because I understand that there are a lot of people that are disappointed in the space for their own reasons. But that was just low down and that was just dirty. It was low down and dirty and malicious. So malicious to the point where, like I said, I almost gave up. I'm on YouTube having similar goals to the other habitual line steppers to help my people and to make money. Now, I gotta tell you, I don't have an income enough to sustain just being on YouTube. So I have to stick to my primary source of income right now. And I do understand that a lot of people do have a problem with black men coming up here to try to get some type of success on social media. In fact, a lot of you believe that we have no business trying to do that. But if someone's going to fail at doing this, I would much rather have that person fail on their own than to have me help or aid in it, because that just makes me seem like I'm a hater. Whatever my issues are for coming up to this space, hey, talk to my people, give the black man's perspective, give a black man's perspective, such as myself, because I believe that's something that needs to be heard. I'm not at the whims of anyone when I come up here. Nobody's controlling anything I say when I come up here. No one's controlling anything I say when I come up here. I speak straight from my heart. I speak straight from the chest. And I don't care who has anything to say about it. Even the people that are closest to me. I don't care. Either you're going to agree or you're going to disagree with it. But people being malicious, I would expect that more from other groups. I would expect that kind of shit from other groups of people, not my own. And it makes me sad. I'm not crying or anything. You know how y'all love to do. What I saw was from the people in this space, especially from a bunch of grown men, was a bunch of grown men dropping to the ground, crying, and pointing the goddamn finger. FBI, it's them niggas over there. It's them niggas snitching. I thought, I thought you guys were hard, and tough, and you know, I thought you niggas didn't play. I thought you guys were nothing to fuck with. I really did. But at the first sign of trouble, you guys break. Now, fortunately, not too many people who frequent this particular channel I saw doing that. Not too many people. It's no, I didn't see it. So I'm pretty happy about a lot of the stances that were taken by certain people who frequented this channel. But the rest of you motherfuckers, you get the side eye from me. I mean, I'm side eyeing a lot of you guys now because you don't stand on anything. You stand on a mountain of shit. It's ridiculous. It's I don't know. I'm not look, I don't care how much I don't like one of you guys. I'm not gonna try to associate you with a nutcase. I mean, unless you're saying nutty shit now, then I won't be associating myself with you at all. I'm gonna have about as much association with you guys as your somebody referred like, and I laughed when I saw this shit. Uncle Frank. It's like what? Now this guy's your uncle. And I know that was just on some petty shit. I know it was. I said the man ain't my damn uncle. And and I understand that there was a few content creators that was just having some fun with it. But as far as the black manosphere goes, do I believe that the black manosphere is in trouble just because a black guy did something, caused widespread panic and terror in New York City? No, I don't. I'm just gonna go consistently with what I've gone with in the past. Is that look here? Just don't say anything crazy, and you'll be okay. And most of all, don't go out here committing crimes, terroristic acts. Don't go out there doing that because I guess if you do that, they're gonna look at your YouTube channel and see what kind of rhetoric you've been spitting, or they're gonna look at the people you're subscribed to and try to make some kind of connection. Now, do I believe the feds are watching us? Yeah, I believe that. I believe that some form of governmental authority watches every time we get on this air. When I schedule broadcasts through StreamYards, here's the first thing I do. They have this option: look at the broadcast on YouTube. So I look at it on YouTube just to see if my thumbnail is sitting up right, and just to see how it looks. There's always one waiting to watch the broadcast. I mean, as soon as I schedule it, I'm like, I know somebody didn't see me schedule this thing this damn quick. So I'm pretty suspicious of who that one waiting is. I mean, for the bigger content creators, sometimes they have two waiting, sometimes they have 10 waiting, but as soon as I schedule the broadcast, there's always one waiting. So, do I believe that I'm being watched and I'm being monitored? Yes. YouTube might have plants in place that watch each and every one of us. Especially the content creators that go on a consistent basis. So I exist in that reality. I also exist in a reality that I've been on social media for quite some time, not just with this channel, but through Facebook, where you do have a bunch of guys who vent their grievances and a bunch of female bidders that poke fun at these guys amongst a bunch of level headed individuals. Yeah, I'm used to being watched. It's nothing new. When a black man speaks out of turn, that's gonna happen. Especially when he's speaking on truths as he sees it through his eyes. Now, unfortunately, how Frank James saw it through his eyes was kind of It's kind of crazy. I mean, I didn't know anything about Prophet of Doom or whatever his name was. I wasn't sub to him. Like I said, I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know anything about him till he hit the news. This guy was a 62-year-old man. He was 62, meaning that over half of his life is over. I mean, I don't think this dude is going to make it to 124 based on his physical shape. I mean, like I say, I'll give a damn how he looks. Shit, hopefully men looking at me, hopefully they think I'm ugly. I mean, shoot, I can't think of too many good looking men. You know, that's just the heterosexual part of me speaking. But if this dude did constant angry rants on YouTube, he's lost at many things. He lost at many things, and here's the thing. I wish he had found this space earlier, like early enough to the point where if he had listened to a lot of the men that were over here, like someone like Dr. Tiason Johnson, maybe he would have thought that this wasn't a good idea. Now, some of you ratchet guys, some of you ratchet women, I would not have recommended he visited your channels at all because he probably would have did a lot worse. You know. But really, the content creator that really is sincere about helping black men and not gaslighting a black man into doing some shit like this. Because believe me, from what I've seen with the reaction of this incident, wow. From content creators, this man would go into the wrong channels. This man would not have stood any type of chance. Not one little bit. Not one little bit. Now, it's poll time. I ran a poll just based on some anger I had for a lot of what people were saying this week. I ran a poll, and I'm here about to show it to you. I did this morning. All right, this poll reads, if the space gets shut down by the feds, who would be responsible for pointing the feds to the space? Who snitched? Who did the most? I got 43 votes, which I wish I could have got more votes, but you know, that 43 is good enough. The choices were content creators, mainstream media, and content creators' chat boxes. Now you see which one got the most votes. 67% out of those 43 votes said content creators. And content creators' chat boxes and mainstream media tied up for 16% apiece. Now, this is a reflection of what people actually believe because of what they seen and what they observed from content creators. Spewing absolute utter ignorance. Now, I already said there were a couple content creators that presented it to the point where it made a lot of sense what they were saying. I mean, they weren't much better. But of course, like I said, once I saw that Willie D video, I said they're gonna connect this to the black manosphere. they're gonna connect this to the black manosphere. You have such disdain for a space of gentlemen who make videos telling the truth about their experiences with our people that you would try to get the feds to come and get us. There was one guy tackling the manosphere. Oh, and I don't know if this guy is a troll, like a insane troll, or he just a really horrible simp. Y'all going to jail. Y'all going to jail. And I just look at that. I just sit there and I just laughed at that because it's really tough for me to take someone like that seriously. But then there was a whole slew of chat box individuals sitting up there acting like that they were such experts in how the law works and how the FBI and the feds goes about things. To the point where if you're your regular, average, everyday, ignorant, scared of everything person, you would have believed everything them people said. Now I don't know if there were content creators that were deleting videos left and right, because that's another thing that I heard. There were content creators that were deleting all of their videos because they didn't want the feds to see what they were talking about. You know how many videos that I deleted? 0. But I did hear about how the FBI is now probing FS Avenger. So, I would have to say that if you were on FS Avenger, and I had an account over there, FS Avenger. I had one. I dropped 2 videos about over a year ago. And you could see those videos on my channel here on YouTube. Yeah, I had an account over there. So, but I don't believe that I have said anything that is so extreme. And I mean, like, it doesn't matter what I believe at the end of the day, that I said that would have the feds raiding my house, knocking down my door, and asking me all these questions. Because, I mean, you can see the videos on YouTube. And FS Avenger, that's a website that is kind of crazy. It wasn't like I was sitting up there watching all the videos or anything like that. But it was supposed to be a place where black men could really enjoy the fruits of freedom of speech. But there's a responsibility that goes along with that. Like that website, as of anywhere, you can't spew hatred. You can't spew hatred. You can't say crazy stuff like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill these bitches." Can't say nothing like that. Because when you have a nutcase like Frank James going out and doing what he did, then hey, you know what? The scrutiny is gonna fall on you. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of these panels that I've had here on YouTube, there were some guys that said some crazy stuff. But see, here's the kind of guy I am. I check that shit immediately. Because you ain't gonna implicate me in anything just in case anything goes down. Now is 43 votes. Like I said, 43 votes to me is a good enough it is a good enough representation of what people really believed. And my subs, they do frequent this space. Maybe not all 28.99 of them. I got a lot of those subs through edited content, not doing panels, not doing live broadcasts. So, but this was enough of a reflection for them to have enough wherewithal to vote for content creators. Yeah, which was if I had voted on this, I don't vote on my own polls. I don't believe you can vote on your own polls actually. I mean, unless you have other accounts. But I'm pretty brutally honest with myself. I don't sit there and try to shape the narrative on anything. In fact, I was gonna put in my caption, my vote is content creators, but I didn't do that because I didn't want to influence the way this poll went. But for people to vote content creators like that, they have been pretty much watching the same content that I've been watching. And and people were so ignorant in trying to make these connections. I ain't gonna lie, I heard BGS name come up. They said, and it was like the people were like, I think that he was on BGS's panel before. I was like, does that really fucking matter? Like, seriously, guys. But let me go over some of these comments. Now, I know that people that come to my channel, they're not really feeling the space like that. Quite a few people. Some people actually do. But, I'm not going to ever be the one that rips the space. Not unless a lot of representatives of that space do some shit that I just really don't like. But see, whenever I hear these conversations about the space this and the space that, it always targets certain individuals. If I ever do that, I'm going to be more accurate and I'm going to be more fair. So let me see. Let me see something real quick. All righty. Let me see who's in this chat. Let me see who's in this chat. All right. Say we had Phil Brad here earlier. This is before I went on. Sometimes, guys, I'm a little tired. I drag my feet getting to these broadcasts. Hurry up and buy what's going on. Village arsonist. I'll tell you one thing about the village arsonist. That man is not afraid to go into the lion's den. He's not. And I mean, like, he pushes back like a mofo. I seen him in one of these broadcasts last night. And although he was telling everything 100% straight truth, 100%, he was getting insulted left and right. And it takes a person with an iron will to get through that. So I would have to, and I mean, like, it's just like he stands on his. So whether you agree with that or not, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, like, anybody. I mean, seriously, it's like people want echo chambers. I don't want this channel to be an echo chamber. If you disagree with anything I say, it's up to me how I'm going to act about it. But I'm not going to go directly into insulting you. I mean, unless, of course, you're insulting me, then it becomes mutual. Raining woman, hashtag don't ruin my zen. She was here. What's going on? I might have some questions for you sooner or later. Hurry up and buy. What it do? Shout out to Eat Charles and the crew. Okay. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. A great weekend of Bellator MMA and UFC. Now it's time for being BBH. Long live the habitual line steppers. Long live, brother. Marco Ross, what's going on? American Negro, what it is. RPM, what's up? Long live. My boy Donnie, long live the habitual line steppers. Long live. Rating woman, why you gotta call him a nutcase? It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious the guy needed help, and he never got that help. Rael, as much info I drop on mental health issues, I can't stand when people use it to hide their BS. I take that topic very seriously. Mental health is nothing to play with. Exactly. Like I said, we in our community, in our community, if you can even call it that at this point, because we don't treat it like it's a community. We don't take that very seriously. In fact, we make fun of guys who have mental health issues to the point where they do things to harm themselves and other people. And I really wish it didn't come to harming other people. But we have to understand is that we have to start recognizing these things, these signs when they come. It's like fake sex assault charges. It present actual victims from being believed and heard, and that's a damn shame. Say you want males who were raised predominantly female-led households, never being around masculinity and being force-fed off mama's breast to behave masculine. Uh, 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 Good point. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd Power says, yeah, people try to plead insanity and say they have psychological issues as a get out of jail free card. I gave a speech at a mental hospital and saw so many actual victims. It ain't a game. Let me tell y'all something about Frank James. He's not gonna get off like that. It's not gonna be just because he's a black man. He's I mean, the girl Courtney Taylor who stabbed her Nigerian boyfriend Christian Obenselli, I don't believe she's been charged. She's claiming mental health. But all I'm saying is this: that dude had mental issues. Like maybe it was the fact that he lost on life. He could probably be considered a loser, and he just did some crazy shit just to do it. But I believe this man is going to get locked up, and they're going to throw away the key. Oh, okay. You're talking. Donnie's talking about the whole Karen incident. Regular Degler with the funny ass Lori Lightfoot emoji. He said definitely not Manosphere, maybe Hotep or B1. Oh, don't say that with Taz around. In fact, B1, they were the first video I saw trying to connect this to the Manosphere because they have such a hate boner for the Manosphere. It's ridiculous. So yeah, they were the first one that tried to make this connection. Let's see. K. Dot said that black men being brutally honest. When do you think black women self-destruct? Shit, I don't know. A lot of them self-destruct every day, especially when they come to kids that they should not have had in the first place. Like, but that's all discussion. That's a whole nother discussion entirely. Hybrid. If anything, their attack on the black manosphere will backfire on them because it will give them a bigger buzz and more individuals will see that it's a genuinely good space for progress. Yeah, but look, let me tell you something real quick. Some of the more popular individuals, they are on that fuckery tip. And that's not me spewing sour grapes. It's just the truth. Our people love drama. We love drama. What do they call it? They call it litty. That's no swiping anyone, but then again, Kel, why are you protecting the space? I'm not protecting the space. Ryle Hybrid, seeing those people fight through their issues and dealing with everyday stuff and persevere was inspiring. I've never been a complainer, but that experience made me really not be one. Regular Degler, who watches the Watcher though? Somebody. Roguish Son, respect to the Weekend Warrior in the chat. Getting live from the shop, but I'm going. but I'm going to be listening in. Uh, hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Soul provider reacts. What's going on? He said those people he was sub to obviously didn't help him. I mean, let me the four that jumped out: Kevin Samuels, Fresh and Fit, Jason Black, and Unwind with Tasha K. Those are not help channels. Those are not help channels. Man, my example was Dr. Tia's son Johnson. So, however you feel about him. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd Power says these haters disrespecting the space don't even know the half of it. They don't know the importance of it, but they steady talking outside of their mouths. Let me tell you something. A lot of those guys that do that shit, they're female controlled, they listen to women. And a lot of the women say that we over here, we don't do anything but bash black women, talk about hair weave, talk about makeup, which is fucking ridiculous. Like I said, I've never sugarcoated this. I will talk about anybody. I will talk about anybody, male, female, short, tall, fat, small, anyone, light skin, dark skin. It is like you can't you look. I try to do balance and fairness. I look if you on some fucked up crap, if you were on some BS, sorry, I'm sorry. And if I feel like it's worth talking about, I'm not going to sugarcoat it or treat you with kid gloves, especially if you're an adult. If you're a kid, now, first of all, I ain't gonna be talking about you, and and kids are the only people that I handle with kid gloves. So if you're an adult, boo fucking whatever. If you're a grown man, grow some nuts. You got to take the punches just like everyone else. Judzilla the Beast. I deleted my Pornhub account. I don't need the feds after me when something happens to a Latina house. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh man. Sir Anthony, salute to Kev and black men being brutally honest in the clouds. Salute to Sir Anthony. Thanks for tuning in. Chaos Rain, what's going on? Hybrid Catastrophic says Chaos. Oh, Chaos Rain. I finally had social media call them out. Yeah. Content creators that's gonna yeah, I mean here's my thing with like the divester part of YouTube. If you are truly a divester, why are you talking about black men? Why do you stay on black men? Soul Provider reacts. Maybe he'll come back with a jawline and make high value man content. My dad is a war criminal, BMI. BM1. I guess that means blackmail first. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. They don't keep that same energy when the mainstream media continues to character assassinate black men. Hypocrisy. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something for real. When it comes to that, no one's gonna ever care about people talking about black men. Now, that's something that I came to social media with. That is something that I've known for many, many years before I came to social media. I understand that when it comes to black men, we are the only group of people that you can say just about anything about and present any kind of image that, especially a negative one. And a lot of that reason is because black men as a group did not fight for it. We didn't fight to better ourselves and have a better image. No, no, maybe better ourselves in our personal lives, but to better our image, we were very apathetic on that. And now we're at this point in history where, excuse me, where it is very commonplace to say exactly anything you want about a black man. Now, if I were a black man being brutally honest, being brutally shitty to black men, I guarantee I will have no problems with gaining even more popularity, probably getting in the algorithm quite a bit, you know. But when you're on some I'ma tell you motherfuckers the truth kind of thing, you have to face stuff like shadow banning and you have to face things like, scrutiny from the general public, especially with other black people because I mean, when you tell the truth about shit that actually goes on, you're going to face more scrutiny from black people than anyone because you have a lot of our people that feels like that you should not say anything about the bad crap that goes on. And it's like that's not that is an attack on the truth. It seriously is. However, it goes on to say anything giving black women constructive criticism and holding them accountable is seen as toxic. Yep, they can use that victimhood narrative as efficient as well more efficient than anyone. Greg, manosphere is already an escape velocity away. Uh, the gravity pull of the planet gynocracy. Our message cannot be stopped. Yeah, I mean, like as far as them trying to shut down the space and shut down black men or whatever, it's not like that is something that will make a whole lot of sense to do because it ain't like the black manosphere is a building or is a it's not like it's a place where people can go, clock in and clock out. It's and really, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I really wish the word manosphere wasn't used. I mean, I would have to say that I really wish we did use the word manosphere. 'Cause let me show you something real quick. I mean, it's too late now. It's too late now. I mean, it's like I don't like when it comes from something else and it wasn't something that was original to us, like the word manosphere, because we have to face the scrutiny that comes with that. So let me share this screen real quick. I Googled the word manosphere. Cartel, what's going on? Let me share the screen real quick. And I mean, you can always do this yourselves, but this is for context in this broadcast. All right, this is what Google says. Let me highlight it so we know what I'm reading. It says the manosphere is a collection of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting masculinity, misogyny, and strong opposition to feminism. Communities within the manosphere include men's rights activists, incels, and they go and say involuntary celibates, men going their own way, MGTOW, pickup artists, and fathers' rights groups. See how they just tried to lump everyone in? Because the dog whistle terms that are used is misogyny, incels, MGTOW, but they lump them in with men's rights activists and fathers' rights groups. Now, do you in the chat, do you believe that this is describing the black part of the manosphere? And I've said it myself a couple times. If what I talk about makes me a misogynist, then hey, misogyny is my thing. But I don't hate women. But incels, the way they describe incels these days, I would want to be called an incel to save my life. Kev, you're an incel. Hell no. Don't put me in that category. Men going their own way, which people believe is suspect. But I'm not here to criticize MGTOW. Pickup artists, fathers' rights groups. Now, what's wrong with fathers' rights? What's wrong with men's rights? In fact, I believe that the space should move more forward into the men's rights category and fathers' rights category because that is much needed. As much as fathers, black fathers, get screwed over in the family court system, yeah, there should be some forward motion in that. But let's scroll. Let's see what else we can find on this Google. So you have this internetmatters.org up here. It says, what is the manosphere and why is it a concern? And yeah, this is that was some study done by a woman. So I don't, let me see. And then that was October the 4th, 2021 with that, that particular web article was written. This was written on August 7, 2019. It says to learn about far right, start with the manosphere. Then the Washington Post in 2014, inside the manosphere that inspired the Santa Barbara shooter. Yeah, for those of you, remember when I did that I'm kind of angry, do you believe I'm getting angry poll, and I put yes or no? Taz said he made the comment saying, calm down. We know how you Elliot Rogers types are. And it really brought back the memory of how the so-called quote unquote guy who gets labeled the good guy is always associated with some kind of nutty shit. Like, especially like these so-called gangsters and thugs, they see the quiet guy and then they point at the guy. They point at the guy that's the quiet guy, say, oh, he's more likely to shoot up the place, even though they spend their lives in their teenagerhood dodging bullets. So, when people used to come at me with that, it usually be people who had guns. And I'm just like, look, man, I'm just to myself. I'm a little bit quieter. I don't put myself out there like that. Because, oh, you one of those smart niggas, aren't you? I used to get all that shit. Here's another one. February 7, 2020. The manosphere is getting more toxic as angry men join the, and then it continues. Hunting the Manosphere, New York Times. That was written in June 13, 2017. So there's already a bad stigma as far as when you discuss the Manosphere. The men and women, guys and girls of the Manosphere, exploring misogyny across the Manosphere in rhetoric, from libertine to incel, how the manosphere has fostered, and it continues. So, really, honestly, this right here has like the word manosphere. Maybe using the word manosphere, and I know the term black manosphere was supposedly coined by Angry Man. Using the word manosphere might not have been the best idea. And I mean, you also have Negro manosphere. That was coined by O'Shea Duke Jackson. it already had bad shit stuck to it. So to believe that black men were good enough to turn that around, where we already have that mass scrutiny to face already, man. I just stated that it is okay to sit there and shit on black men and use all forms of media to do it, whether it be newspapers, magazines, websites, blogs. Hell, some of the most misandrous channels have been long-standing channels for years. Shoot, Paris Milan, Chrissy are prime examples. Cynthia G is another example. Highly black misandrist. Yet and still, they're not considered hate speech. That was a sentiment that was expressed ever since this little shooter incident happened. And my response to that is no one cares about female misandrists spewing hateful shit about black men. No one cares about that. YouTube doesn't care about that. Shit, Tommy Sotomayor had at least, I think, 3 or 4 channels knocked down in the past 2 or 3 months. He's a black man. So they act like they care about that. But the misandrous channels that say, that is like promoting the genocide of black male babies. And let me put it like this: women can do whatever they want to with their bodies, but when it comes from a place like that, and that's adversarial, basically you're declaring war on black men, and that's where a lot of people are either they're failing to see it or they don't want to see it. That's what we have to face as black men when we come up to these platforms. We're always going to have the crazy guy stuck to us. And we got to face a lot of misandry that's going to go unchecked. So that's the reality. That's the reality right there. Whether you want to think that I'm crazy for believing that or not, it is of no object to me. But using the word manosphere was a very poor choice. It just was. And they've been giving this word some heat since, I think one of these articles said 2014. Yeah, yep. Let me click on that. Now look at this headline. Inside the manosphere that inspired the Santa Barbara shooter, Elliot Rodger. And of course, the article is written by a woman. So what happened this past Wednesday, finding out that this black man, Frank James, or as many refer to as Uncle Frank for some idiotic reason, they did a lot of black content creators did the exact same thing that this Caitlin Dewey did in 2014. Stuck in online space to a crazy person. Not crazy as in mental health. I mean, let me put it to you like this. When we say mentally unglued or something like that, they need help, of course. But that mental part that mental part can be stuck to quite a few things. And it's not always good. is not always good. So, just wanted to show y'all this. Let me open up this panel. Cartel said a married man can't be an incel. Shoot. Tell that to ignorant folks. That's just crazy as fuck. I thought men have freedom of speech on our First Amendment, just like quote unquote women. That we will look. Let me tell you something. We will never ever have the leniency that women get, especially black women who hate black men. We live in a system of WS. Even though we do a lot of things to give ourselves disadvantages, we live in that system. And it's never going to be fair or ever have leverage toward us. It will never be that way unless we start fighting and standing our ground. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. How CDG isn't getting hit from saying abort all black male babies is beyond me. Well, it's not that beyond me because that's exactly what the system of WS wants. Not surprised they are lumping Elliot Rogers to the manosphere smear campaign as its finest. They already did that. They, like I said, they did it back in 2014, just like they're trying to lump Frank James into the black manosphere. Now I'm going to ask you all a question. Since I do have a sensible base of people watching, what content creator spews rhetoric that is so toxic? And this is the village arsonist asking this to the wrong group of people last night. Who says this stuff that is so bad that will prompt someone to go out in public and start shooting people? Soul Provider React says, I heard Paris Milan is supposed to interview with some big platform. I forgot the name. Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone magazine. Yeah, they're trying to launch these women into the spotlight. You know why? It's because of the black manosphere. They're trying to launch like Cynthia G. She was on Fox Soul, which doesn't surprise me at all. Fox Soul is Fox Soul is basically a feminist, misandrist, low key alphabet network, and I saw that with the way they treated Ice Cube. Everybody hated Ice Cube. Oh, he talked to Trump. He talked to Trump. No, Ice Cube tried to come up with uh, a contract with Black America, so Black people can get to the point where we're selling our votes to these politicians instead of just giving our votes to them. And these women had the audacity to say, "Oh, what about Black women? What is in there for Black women?" And Ice Cube said, "Well, Black people includes Black women." Oh, we have a separate we have a separate set of concerns. We like, huh? So they truly see themselves as a group of a separate group of people. Raven Knight, thank you for the super chat. Says, "Long live the habitual line stepper." Salute, brother. Long live. Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power said, "There is nothing I heard from any content creator in the Black Manosphere that can incite violence. Nothing." See how easy it was to answer that question. Now, we've had a lot of people say pull up and catch a flight, but as far as some people getting into an altercation and getting into a shootout and killing each other or whatever, we don't do that. I mean, a lot of people say that, we're getting tired of you guys venting your frustrations with females. I mean, they say we're tired of that. We're tired of you talking about women. Same guys be over on the females' platforms. So I don't even listen to that shit. So Provider reacts. He says, I can't think of anyone off the top. I'm not sub to everyone though. Look, and I'm gonna tell you this: if there was somebody talking crazy, you would hear about it in a heartbeat, probably based on the people that we are sub to. Cartel, it just goes to show how these B-dubs think on their own. Black boys. Now, how about that? Yeah. I mean, can you imagine being a black boy growing up and you happen to run across Cynthia G spewing the rhetoric that she spews? Whew. I mean, I'm talking like I'm not talking about older teenagers to adults because our minds are kind of fixed at that point. I'm talking about young little boys. And you know what? I remember as a little boy, I used to have a time sneaking around watching stuff that I wasn't supposed to watch. I had one of them black and white TVs with the dials that would straight. You had to straighten it up a little bit in order to get the picture. You know, so you either could choose sound or picture in that instance. Hell, that's how I used to get a little. That's how I used to get information I wasn't supposed to be getting. Can you and YouTube pretty much depending on your settings, everyone has access to YouTube. Everybody. Can you imagine a 9-year-old black boy having to run across a Cynthia G broadcast? By the time he's 14, he looking at Becky and Maria. No, I'm serious. Hell no. Hell, I don't want to deal with this shit. Cartel. Yep, those guys are called weak ass males that cap for these hiatus. They're called simps. Hybrid says as long as there is an open flow of simps, there will never be enough black men in unison fighting to recover the essence of our image. Man, like I said, I saw many examples of that this week. That's why I call them Karens. I'm just starting to call them Karens from now on. And the, and these broadcasts are going to continue to come. Information man, what's going on? These broadcasts are going to continue to come. Like when the next nut case, that's a black male content creator on YouTube, does something stupid or rash, they're gonna connect it to the space. So Provider reacts. I'm very grateful that I didn't see any of this gender war stuff on YouTube when I was younger. Let me see. When I was younger, when YouTube really started to, like, I was already in my 20s. Yeah, I was already well in my 20s, almost 30 when I first discovered YouTube. Um, I more so stumbled upon I watched movie trailers and music videos that I didn't have access to, because you know long gone were the days of video soul and video vibrations and stuff. But when I really started to get into like the free speech stuff from black folks, um, I stumbled upon the conspiracy videos talking about the Illuminati. That's what I stumbled upon. Like, and I wasn't really on the gender war stuff. Like, I didn't see I didn't see the first phase of the black manosphere. Like, guys like SWP, Thug Titian, K Soul and Black. Even I've heard Mr. Research was a part of that phase. Um, I didn't see those guys, and I didn't see like the feminist, the black girl tragic women that played YouTube all of a sudden attacking black women. I didn't see those guys either. I didn't see those women either. Like I said, I saw a bunch of conspiracy theory stuff. I saw a bunch of it. It wasn't until I stumbled upon, I believe, the first one that I stumbled upon was Tommy Sotomayor. That was the first one. It was Tommy, then it was Phil Scott, then it was Dr. Umar, um, then it was O'Shea Duke Jackson, then it was the Reluctant Nobby, then it was Cynthia G. Yeah, those are the first ones I stumbled upon. And this was the CNG that was on her pro black. This wasn't I hate black men Cynthia G. The hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd Power says these Gen Z black boys are starting to ignore a lot of black girls, and black girls are wondering why. On top of that, black girls are being treated like boys. They need to stop acting like boys. I'm not saying that that's good for all of them. I'm not saying that at all because there are actually sisters that ride for the brothers that that get scrutiny because of the Misandry sisters. Yeah, but I don't know, man. At some point, it's gonna have to stop. But like I said a few weeks ago, everybody can shut up or no one will shut up. Period. But you know, just really fucked up that someone does something that's gotta get automatically stuck to the space just because people hate what's going on in the space. They hate that black men are speaking like this. I mean, there are just some brothers that had the courage to speak up. And although we may be fighting a losing battle, because like I said, I had a very dismal feeding, not feeding, sorry, a very dismal feeling about, on the things that I observed in the space. It's like, damn, we just want to hurt each other like this? Hmm. All right. Shout out to It More Eternal for the cab chat. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and thank you for your support of this channel. Damn, that's a second cash app in a few weeks. So good, awesome. Yeah, just I must be doing something right. So Provider React says Black Manosphere responsible for Dragon Ball Evolution, Kev. Oh hell no. No, we gotta shut this motherfucker down. Man, have you seen God, that let me give you a quick fact. I know this is way off subject, Soul Provider. Dragon Ball Evolution was so bad and it made Akira Toriyama so mad that he went right into creating Dragon Ball Super. All right. Yeah. Oh, Greg, that was you. Oh, okay. Hybrid says the good sisters that love and respect a black man worth should speak up. Man, look, and look, Tashina Arnold, Pam from Martin. And the next thing that I'm about to say is is I'm not saying it because of what she stated that triggered all the bitter sisters. But, when I was watching Martin, I always thought Pam was better looking than Gina. Always. I always thought Pam was better looking than Gina. You know. Cartel, I thought black men had freedom of speech just like everybody else do. Okay, yes we do technically. Yes we do technically. But that freedom of speech can be compromised at any time based on the platforms that we're on. YouTube is not owned by black men. And I've stated this before. YouTube can snip any of these channels at any time, including my own. and there's not a damn thing I can say or do about it except start another channel. He said, I like both because Gina could get it in the worst way. I'm talking about sleeping in it. LOL. Okay, it sounds like you prefer Gina. I don't know, man. I don't know. I would believe that that Pam was probably more passionate than Gina. But we all have our opinion on that. Yeah, YouTube playing with my subs again. That's what I mean by shadow banning. Like they'll snip like 2 subs here, 1 sub there. And I mean, like, if people are unsubbing, that's fine. You ain't gotta stay with me. You ain't got to, but damn, it just the shit just kind of sucks, you know. And I understand why they doing that, it's to kill my motivation, but no, we ain't, I ain't with that. You're not gonna kill my motivation. I'm a black man. I understand the situation that I'm in. Greg said women savage to Sheena Arnold in the comments. I didn't um I didn't look at the comments that the sisterhood made and a lot of women made against Tashina Arnold. But all they did was validate what she said. If they were if they were that triggered by it, then she did. Then I believe Tashina Arnold understand that she was telling the truth. Like I had Save Yourself Black Woman visit my post when I posted what Tashina Arnold said. And she was like, "Oh, we ripped her apart in the comments, like blah blah blah." I said, and the first thing I asked was, "Did she care?" And this was a divester. It's like, why are you so goddamn concerned? And then the irony of that, she was calling herself "Save Yourself Black Woman." That's something she got from That's something she got from from black men talking about their ex-YSBM. See, we can't have shit. And they always try to copy us. They always do. Let me see something real quick. K Dot says that black men being brutally honest, B dubs are above criticism. No one is above criticism. It's just that when they are criticized, they treat it like they're above criticism. Shoot. See something real quick. Hold on 1 second, guys. And hopefully everybody's watching. Press like on this broadcast. I really would appreciate it if you did. Help me, help me get past this shadow ban or whatever's happening. And for all of you that are watching right now, I do understand that you could be in other places right now at this point, especially like some of y'all could actually like participate in the nightlife if you wanted to. And I do, and I is and participate in the nightlife ain't necessarily like the coolest thing, especially with how the environment is on this day in this day and age. But you guys decided to be here instead. And I made a comment on a video the village arsonist made earlier. And one thing that I did say was I'd rather have 20, 30 people watching me that want to have a good convo than 300 dysfunctional ass people. And YouTube took that comment down. I was like, it told me that, uh, in the kind of media that we are in, they would rather have us being dysfunctional. It wasn't even a disrespectful comment like that. Greg said, actually, this is my favorite cast at night. Oh, I appreciate that. Soul Provider React says, that was my college sophomore year for me. I moved on past that shit. Yeah, I moved on past that shit at an early age, too. I mean, I would still periodically go hang out with friends and stuff, but it just really, like, when it started getting taken over by people who love to get in fights and, you know, women coming in whole bad groups and putting up walls because big girl didn't get the man, but you try to talk to her cute friend and all this other shit. I mean, it just became a little whack for me. Yeah, I agree. Soul provide, I'm not soul provider. Hybrid catastrophic, quality over quantity. Like I said, I would rather have, like I said, I would rather have an audience that knows how to watch me with some sense rather than an audience that is just here to tear down and destroy what we're trying to build. Mm, yeah, so I'm gonna give this about another 30 minutes. And the whole black male Karen aspect of it, yeah, why have that much hatred for another black man? Well, why have that much hatred for another content creator that doesn't cause mess? It doesn't try to cause division amongst our people. So malicious that every time, I mean, every time that they go on these broadcasts with these people that are talking about the space or whatever, that they have to connect us to some bullshit. That they have to try to get us shut down. I didn't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate that at all. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd Power says now chicks can just upload content for Instagram, stand around, dress up to compete with other women and get attention and validation. Shit. You should look at TikTok. You know how they do the stupid little dance routines that they don't even have to put that much effort into? And I mean, like, but you still got brothers sitting up there talking about, so what's your cash app, baby? What's your cash app? You still got brothers like that that'll do it for that stuff. But hey, you know what? It's just a fact of life. Women are beautiful, and some of which know how to use what they got to get what they want. And that's just the way it is. And as long as there's a simp out there, there will always be a place for that. Like, I do not expect people to come flocking into this channel right here, like they flock to the women who show titties and ass. Because you know what? If you're any kind of man, you are a lover of titties and ass. And that is okay. I get that. I understand. I understand that. I understand that completely. K dot at black men being brutally honest. Why would SYSBW be in a black man space? These females are so unoriginal. They can't come up with an original name of their own. SMH. Hey, when I made that group, black men being brutally honest, do you know how many black women being brutally honest Facebook groups popped up? Like quite a few. I mean, I say TikTok is a shit show. Man, let me tell you something. That Big Bang challenge and that Bust It challenge, man, that was a lot. That was a lot of good material. There's also women's spear. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. He also says clubs and bars are a waste of money and time, especially in this Me Too era. Back in the days, dudes were just having sex in the clubs. It was more savage. Man, let me tell you something about Me Too, man. Well, let me tell you about these chicks in these clubs. These chicks used to let these guys do that shit. I'm not saying that there was a lot of uninvited touching, but when I was younger in my college days in the clubs, yeah, I used to get my dick grabbed quite often without my permission. Shoot, sometimes I break out in sweats at night, and I just don't know what to do with myself thinking about those times. Oh my God, she grabbed my dick. I wish I could remember her name so I could take her to court. Nah, I'm just playing. I wouldn't do that shit. The man said, Greg said, yo, I like the Big Bang Challenge. Yeah. Man, look, let me tell you something. If you didn't know that there were all those white girls with fat asses, man, you knew then. Like, good God. Good Lord. That busted challenge was pretty good too. I'm not saying that for the benefit of sisters that are listening. I'm just saying it's just that Becky was like on y'all hunches with that Big Bang challenge. I'm talking about like, man, I don't know what country them girls were from. I know some of y'all like, man, you a married man. You talking about this? Yeah. Send my wife the timestamp. I mean, say, Smoke Splitter, what's going on? He said Chloe became my crush after that busted challenge. It's about Chloe Bailey. Yeah, I don't know. Just yeah. I mean, I can acknowledge Chloe Bailey, but Chloe Bailey is half my age, so acknowledging it that makes me feel kind of old. It does. But let me go ahead and state this for the black men who are so malicious toward other black men, like I said, blackmail Karen. And here's the deal, guys. I don't like to insult other black men. The way black men insult other black men, I don't like to do it. I don't like to do it because my belief is this should be a platform to uplift and encourage black men where we cannot find upliftment and encouragement. To those black men that believe, like even black men that try to tear down other black men in this quote unquote black manosphere. I'm just going to, and they may feel the same way about me when I say this, but we're not the same. We're not the same. I'm not going to condone or push this egotistical bullshit that you guys always try to push and condone. This HNIC complex that you motherfuckers have. I can't do it. I believe in strength in numbers. I believe in solidarity. I believe that, yes, we should build. I do understand that we are a people that like the ratchet drama, but men, men loving ratchet drama. Chloe Bailey is not a porn star. I think she actually started out as a Disney singer, and she and her sister they make up the singing duo Chloe X Halle. Halle Bailey is she they're both black girls, but Halle Bailey is going to star in the uh live action version of the Little Mermaid. Um and due to my black way of thinking, I was like, well, they race swapped Ariel. I wonder are they going to race swap the prince too? And I said, I'm willing to bet that they're not going to race swap the prince. There's not going to be a black prince and a black mermaid. And yes, I was right. The prince is still white. They don't want to establish the whole black heterosexual relationship. That's not what they're pushing for anymore. They want they want black love out of here. And the way that we are carrying on as a people, black love will be out of here in the next couple of generations. I believe it's that bad. But like I said, getting back to addressing these black male Karens, me and you are not the same. And I don't mind if you say the same thing about me. The way we carried on about this Frank James situation is very, very, very shameful. It's very disappointing, and it made me like, and I know y'all hate this word, hope. It made me even less hopeful for us. It did. All right, yeah, I've been going. I've been going for 1 hour and almost an hour 45 minutes. Oh, what's going on, T Riddler? What's up? He said Kev V V V V V V V V V V V. All right, Mr. JS1. Nope. Whatever that means. Hybrid catastrophic stating something that I've stated in the past. Too many dudes with Highlander complex. Yeah, on some real shit. Yeah, like we don't believe in unifying. We believe that we are singularly the problem solver. We are singularly the answer, the solution. And as much as I hate to bring up other groups, they don't think like that. They may have a star, they may have a leader, but to believe that they can do it by themselves, nah, they don't. We are the only group of guys that believe that we can do it by ourselves, and we're the only group of guys that believe that we have too much pride to ask for help from other guys. And we are straight talked out of it by detractors and haters. They'll tell us it's a circle jerk. They'll tell us it's gay. And we'll sit up there and instead of being like, I ain't listen to that dumb bitch, we'll sit up there and be like, oh man, I ain't gay. I'll show them. I don't need to like, yeah. And we've been mind fucked like that ever since we were kids. Mind fucked like that ever since we were kids. Said we need to start working together, man. Things continue to spiral out of control. Yeah, but we're gonna have to be the ultimate decision makers of that. Like we are going to have to decide as a group of men that we are going to work together. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of guys that are preaching that we should not. Just look out for those. And it's an overwhelming number. So anyway, I've probably done enough speaking at this point. Um, really, Frank James. Um, Me and Frank James do not represent the same kind of man. Uh, I don't believe that going out and hurting people is a solution to any problem. I don't. If he is in fact guilty, which like I said, NYPD believes they have and the FBI believes they have the right guy, then he deserves the punishment that he got coming to him. He honestly does. Uh, and he's a 62-year-old man. Like I said, with the shape that he's in, he probably have a ton of medical problems too. So I mean, if you're 62 and you're in that kind of shape, and you have to spew the stupid rhetoric that you spew, and you believe that going in public and hurting a bunch of people is the answer, then you have officially made yourself into a loser. Now, for those of you who believe that those actions were somehow connected to this space, or you tried to make that connection, you're wrong. You are absolutely wrong, and you might be on the verge of being borderline stupid. I don't care. There is a certain content creator, and like since tomorrow is Easter, I want y'all to look for this broadcast. Basically saying that uh, Frank James. Let me see if I can find this guy. Hold on one second, because I'm gonna read the title exactly verbatim, and I want you to look for this broadcast. Uh, I'm not gonna say the first part because it's gonna give away who he is. But he said Frank James arrested, Brian Solange raided by feds. The manosphere is in deep ish. This is one of those black male Karens that I am talking about. How's the manosphere in deep shit? This dude is going to get that punishment all by himself. Now, if there are some guys out there that was doing the whole FB dub thing and I hope y'all die, then hey, you know what? You're probably about to be exposed. The man said the thing is about he wasn't opening fire on a group of women. They like to say the manosphere hate women, yet it was men that were injured. I mean, it was still people. I don't necessarily like to use that framing, but you are saying facts. You are stating facts, and like I will continue to say, is that we here do not condone terroristic violence of any form, which is which is me basically speaking out against the act that was carried out on that New York City subway, or any terroristic acts such as drive-by shootings, mass shootings at schools, chasing chasing black guys down with Skittles and iced tea in their pocket. Hostage confrontations with the police, all that stuff. Would do not condone those violent acts of any kind, and I would never encourage any of my subs to go out there and believe that justice is within doing a harmful act such as that. So take that how you want to take it. Now, anybody listening, if you go out and shoot up a place tomorrow, Kev and Black Men being brutally honest and the habitual line steppers had nothing to do with that shit. So for anybody listening right now, that might be a fed or that one waiting every time I schedule a broadcast, if you are a fed, we had nothing to do with that shit. Yeah, Hybrid said it's sad that people take the recommendation of seeing a therapist as an insult. It is a shame, and you have to understand when a lot of people do say that, they're not saying it because they actually want to help that person. They're saying it to be condescending. I'm not saying everybody saying seek therapy and seek help is not sincere, because they have some people that are sincere. Just like when they try to connect this shooter to Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels says often that black people do need help and we do need to go seek counseling. And that sounds nothing like go shoot up a subway. So, chat, thank you as always. Raven Knight and Greg, thank you for the Cash App and the Super Chat. Believe me, I'm always appreciative of any support I get for this channel. It really means a lot that people are willing to, you know, put some in the put some in the collection plate. You know, I was trying to find a way to say that. Let's see. All right. So that's it, guys. That's it. That's it. Just don't do anything stupid. Just don't be Frank James. And also don't be a black male Karen. Um, Long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. I am going to win. We are going to win. Till next time.